between McDonald and his fiancée during a party at his home. Now, according to police documents, McDonald's fiancée had, quote, visible injuries. McDonald was not formally charged and was later released on $25,000 bail. He was to be arraigned tomorrow, but that hearing has been postponed while the San Jose Police Department continues its investigation. Now, once that's complete, the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office will decide whether or not to formally press charges. Now, the 49ers have consistently said they have a zero-tolerance policy for domestic violence, so the team has received a significant measure of criticism for allowing McDonald to play, and he is starting tonight. Now, we spoke with team CEO Jed York, and he reiterated what he told a local radio station earlier this week, and I quote, "I would much rather walk the line of due process. We've said very clearly how we feel about domestic violence, and I would much rather take shots to my reputation than to put somebody down and judge them before an entire investigation has taken place." Now, McDonald was not made available to speak with us, and Al, a phone call I put into his attorney has yet to be returned.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Those are all the facts. You look at Jim Harbaugh, and he'll have McDonald out on the field a lot. McDonald played 60 of the 69 snaps last week in Dallas. Harbaugh in his fourth year. Mark Trestman, longtime NFL assistant with several teams, then was the head coach at Montreal in the CFL, now in his second season as the head coach in Chicago. Phil Dawson has been around a long time, his 16th year. He will kick off as the 49ers won the toss and deferred, and the kick is 7 yards deep in the end zone. Sonoris Perry will come out, try to get to the outside. The flag is down, and he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Carl Sheffers is tonight's referee, and we'll see him right off the bat.
During the return, holding return team number 20. After distance to the goal, first down.
So they get backed up inside the 10, and here's their offense.
Jay Cutler, Vanderbilt University.
Matt Forte, Tulane.
Brandon Marshall, Central Florida. Alshon Jeffrey, South Carolina.
Santonio Holmes, The Ohio State University.
Martellus Bennett, Texas A&M.
Jamon Bushra, Towson University.
Michael Ola, Hampton University.
Brian De La Puente, Cal.
Kyle Long, Oregon.
Jordan Mills, the Louisiana Tech University.
So two backup linemen, but you've got Jeffrey and Marshall in the game. They're both set to the right. They start with Forte on the ground, and he goes next to nowhere. He is their #1 running back and has been for years. As we look at Jay Cutler, who started his career at Denver after he played his college ball at Vanderbilt, got traded to Chicago in 2009, so already his 6th season, and he holds the record for most passing yards in the history of the team, second in touchdowns to Sid Luckman, who played a million years ago but still holds a lot of their passing marks. Double tight end set here, second down and 11. That's Dante Rosario setting up on the right side. Forte again to try to cut it back. A yard, maybe two. Michael Wilhoit, who was in on 14 tackles in Dallas last week, makes his first of the night here.
Yeah, Michael Wilhoit right here is a guy that really showed up. Navarro Bowman, we all know he was one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year a season ago, and yet it has been Wilhoit who stepped right in and played a lot like Bowman did.
Now he'll come out in the nickel on 3rd down and 9. We got Marshall and Jeffrey and also Martellus Bennett. You got them all to the left side with Bennett now in motion as they'll come out in a 3-by-1 set, and Cutler will look to the one side and then throw it low at the feet of Forte. Pressure put on by Corey Lemonnier. So a very fast 3-and-out for the Bears.
You're just not fooling anybody on the 49ers right now. On the outside here, they smelled screen all the way. Ahmad Brooks just right there. And that was a relatively inept open for the Chicago Bears offense.
And the 49ers figured to get the ball in fairly decent shape. Patrick O'Donnell is their punter. They drafted him in the 6th round. He was the only punter taken in the 2014 draft by anybody. And it is blocked. And the ball is rolling toward the sideline and goes out of bounds at about the 7. Aaron Lynch, a rookie from Florida, a 5th-round draft choice, blocks the punt and sets up a 1st and goal.
Aaron Lynch started at Notre Dame and then ended up at South Florida, 6 sacks down there. He basically thought he had been disrespected by one of the scouts of the 49ers. Wasn't going to get on the airplane to even come here. They had to talk him into coming and then end up drafting him in the 5th round. He comes over the big play already.
And he makes the first big play in the history of this stadium. 1 minute and 44 seconds into the game. So Kaepernick, first and goal from the 8-yard line. Gore behind him. Quick drop, pass too high, intended for Anquan Bolden. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Tim Jennings covering on the play. Colin Kaepernick, who made his first start about 2 years ago on a Monday night at Candlestick against Chicago. 948 rushing yards in his first 24 regular season starts. So you know he can take off. He's rushed for 9 touchdowns. And he has a gun for an arm. And now they shift to the shotgun with Gore flanking Kaepernick. Miller is in a slot. Kaepernick's going to keep it. Looking for room to the outside. Turning the corner. Stopped at about the 2-yard line. And that'll make it 3rd down and goal. Shea McClellan driving him out of bounds.
You've got this read option that has really just been a nightmare for the Chicago Bears defense. McClellan right here at the end of the line of scrimmage, that's his responsibility, but they managed to get Bruce Miller, the fullback, out in front, so it ends up being almost a lead play on him. Until the Bears find a way to stop that play, they're going to continue to see it. It was an issue last week as well against Buffalo.
You saw Jared Allen, longtime Viking before that Kansas City, came over in the offseason. He's in there here on 3rd down and goal. The play clock is down to 1. And they just do get it away, and Kaepernick throws for a touchdown. And the first touchdown in the history of the stadium belongs to Michael Crabtree.
Just going to get walled off here, and there's no way this defender can get over the top of that. It's a walk-in touchdown for Crabtree. That's just too easy. You want to play man coverage down there because you have to try and help against the run. Those pick plays are deadly.
So happy birthday to Michael Crabtree. It's his 27th on this 14th day of September. Phil Dawson comes in for the extra point. The block punt sets it up, and the 49ers cash in.
Yeah, you're going to see Crabtree. The ball came out of his hand very late. It looked like he had it under control and sort of just let it go. But you know, you've got to maintain control all the way to the ground. You've heard that a few times.
Scoring play to look at it in New York. Jeffers with the answer here. New York looked at it.
The receiver maintained control throughout the process of the catch prior to losing any control. The ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a touchdown.
It's a touchdown. I tell you, the Bears have every reason to be upset, not because of the ruling on the field on the play, but the play clock had expired. Take a look at the play clock. It'll go to 0. It's a full second before Kaepernick takes the snap. They should have called delay a game. Instead, it's a touchdown for San Francisco.
Well, you could see the official in the back of the end zone looking at the formation. He was probably thinking what I was, or how they're going to run this pick play here. There was no physical contact, so no pick, but they missed that play clock for sure.
Instead of a delay a game penalty, it's a touchdown for San Francisco. Crabtree with Dawson for the extra point to make it 7-0. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. By McDonald's, official sponsor of the NFL. I'm loving it. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Warner Brothers Pictures, this is where I leave you. I would never do that to you.
It's not in the first quarter anyway.
I hope not. Well, we'll take a look all night long around this new stadium, well over $1 billion, as are almost all stadiums these days. There it is. It's about 10 minutes from the San Jose airport. You're 38 miles from Candlestick and about 43 to 44 miles from downtown San Francisco. But they're still going to be the San Francisco 49ers. They're just in the South Bay right now, where it's a lot warmer than it is in the city, and the game time temperature tonight in the upper 70s.
You know, coming up the escalator, they had the radio call of some of the greatest moments ever in 49ers history. And unfortunately, about 3 of them were against my teams.
not those 2 Super Bowls, perhaps, huh?
1 or 2 of them.
Was John Taylor involved in one of those?
I think he was.
You bet. In 88. All right, Dawson to kick off. Sonoris Perry will look to run it back. Instead, it will be a touchback. And let's take a look at San Francisco's defense.
Ray McDonald, the University of Florida.
Ian Williams, Notre Dame.
Justin Smith, Missouri.
Ahmad Brooks, UVA.
Michael Will Hoyt, Highland Park High School, Topeka, Kansas.
Patrick Willis, Ole Miss. Dan Scudder, Grand Valley State University.
Paris Cox, Oklahoma State.
Antoine Bethea, the Mecca, the real HU, Howard University.
Eric Reed, Louisiana State University.
Chris Culliver, South Carolina.
Chris Culliver, he was a question mark during the week with limited playing time, but he starts tonight. Cutler trips right on first down. And in the pocket throws, and that's caught by the big tight end, Martellus Bennett. He's tackled there by Culliver. Good start for Bennett this season. Scored a touchdown on Chicago's opening drive last week at Soldier Field.
Well, one of the stories for the Chicago Bears, the fact that they have 2 starting offensive linemen out after they played every snap a season ago as a unit. But now Michael Ola, Brian De La Puente in for Matt Slauson and Roberto Garza. So we'll keep an eye the left guard and center position.
So Garza on the sideline as Cutler dances around and throws, and that's caught. It's a 5-yard pickup and a first down. Santonio Holmes, longtime Steeler, most recently with the Jets, 9th year in the league, and of course the big hero in Super Bowl 43 against Arizona a few years back.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Brandon Marshall and Santonio Holmes ran the same exact route. Marshall had about 3 guys around him. Santonio Holmes had nobody. So if you can make Jay Cutler look away from Brandon Marshall, usually good things happen. Not that time.
Keeping an eye on Marshall with the gimpy ankle. Limited practice time this week. He's split to the left. And Cutler will throw, and it's underthrown. Marshall had to bend down for it. It's incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, Chris Culliver is the defensive back, and he knows Brandon Marshall has the bad ankle. And Culliver has a tendency to sort of sit down on routes anyway, and I would think maybe more so than ever tonight because he knows these receivers are banged up, especially Alshon Jeffrey, because he has the hamstring. You just don't expect that top-end speed.
So now you've got Jeffrey at the bottom of your screen, and you've got Marshall in the slot, and then Bennett comes over to this side as well. Cutler will look in that direction, then fire, and it's tipped and incomplete. Trying to get that one into Jeffrey. It'll be third down and 10.
Boy, if you throw over the head of one of these Bears receivers, you've done something. Let's take a look on the outside. Here's Javon Bushrod, did a couple Pro Bowls with the New Orleans Saints. Blocking Justin Smith, who is one of the strongest guys playing defensive end in the National Football League, but he held up well there.
Smith a couple of sacks last week in the Niner opener in Dallas. Third and 10. Cutler, quick throw. Bennett makes the catch, but he'll be stopped at the 35-yard line, and that'll set up Chicago's second punt with disastrous results on the first one.
Well, the ball was slightly behind Bennett here. Here's the coverage, but that's one of those plays where the wideouts go out and just block. They don't even turn around and look. So when Bennett tried to cut back, he was cutting back into where he had absolutely no help. You've got to catch that ball in the run and get out to where those receivers are blocking for you.
So now Patrick O'Donnell, first punt was blocked, setting up a first and goal. And San Fran went into the end zone. The rookie Bruce Ellington is back to receive. And this time he gets away, a good kick, and angled, and Ellington has really no room at all and gets taken down at the 18-yard line by Sherrick McManus. 10:32 to go in the opening quarter with the 49ers 7-0 over Chicago. Don't miss a moment of Sunday Night Football this season with NBC Sports Live Extra. Take the game with you anywhere, online and on tablet. Golden Gate Bridge. The fur piece from here, about an hour's drive, depending on the traffic. Yep, back we come to Santa Clara from the 19-yard line. The second 49er drive. Frank Gore just pulling his way ahead as he's done for 10 years now. A gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4.
One of the problems is for Ryan Mundy, here he is as a linebacker, and you go, okay, that's great. You got the extra guy up there, but then you got to get the guy on the ground. Almost every time we do a 49ers game, some defender says to me, it is impossible to get under Frank Gore's pads. He is always running over somebody. I think one of the most underrated backs there is in the NFL. A great pass protection back.
I don't know how he doesn't wind up in Canton. It's 10 years in the league, steady and solid. Third-round pick out of Miami in 05. Kaepernick rolling right, buying time, reaching up. Anquan Bolden to the 46-yard line for a big gain and a first down. Tackled there by Ryan Mundy. That's a gain of 21 yards.
Well, here's what happens when you can get your running game going. Then you can go play action. Then you can go bootlegs. You've got all those safeties up around the line of scrimmage, and it gets easy. So if you're Ryan Mundy, you get up there, you try and help on the run. Now you have to pay attention to the bootleg, and this is when the 49ers get good.
Jim Harbaugh picking him up last year from his brother John in Baltimore. His second year with this team, 12th in the league for Bolden. Good protection. Kaepernick throws, and the ball, if it's caught, it's not. It's incomplete. Bolden hit by Tillman as we take a look at the 49er offense.
Colin Kaepernick, Nevada.
Frank Gore, the U.
Bruce Miller, Central Florida.
Anquan Bolden, Florida State University.
Michael Crabtree, Texas Tech.
Vernon Davis, University of Maryland.
Joe Staley, Central Michigan University.
Mike Upati, Idaho.
Daniel Kilgore, Appalachia State.
Alex Boone, The Ohio State University. Jonathan Martin, Stanford.
Martin taking the spot of Anthony Davis, who's hurt. Carlos Hyde is the running back right now in this set. And the pass is intercepted at the 42-yard line by Charles Tillman. Inside 49er territory, there's a flag down. Tillman trying to hold on to it as they're trying to extricate it from him and gets it to the 35. So the flag is down at there are 2 of them near midfield between the 45 and 50 of Chicago.
The slot corner, Al, basically got run over on the play, so the receiver never got to where the ball was supposed to be. This is an interesting call, how they're going to call this thing.
Let's see if Tillman even caught it cleanly on the pick. The officials are all wired up. Why not? We're in Silicon Valley, but Absolutely. They are all over the league this year. Take a look again.
Basically, Stevie Johnson just runs over, I think that was Tim Jennings on the play.
Take a look at the...
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Pass interference, number 13, offense. That penalty's declined. After the interception, illegal block in the back on the intercepting team. 10 yards will be enforced. They maintain possession of the ball. First down.
Well, so now you've got the question of do you want to look at this with, and they will in New York. You don't have to challenge this because this is automatic. It's a turnover is what it's ruled as. So take a look at this. Does Tillman have control and possession? The ball is coming out. The ball is on the ground. Dean Blandino is going to look at it in New York. And I'm sure that Carl Cheffers will be going over to the hood in short order.
But essentially because of the penalties, I think it may become moot.
Well,
the ruling on the field as the ball was intercepted. That ruling is under review.
Yeah, it has to be. There's no question, no matter what was happening in terms of the penalties. And I suspect the 49ers will be getting the ball back when we come back. Well, the 49er offense has already come back on the field, and that's the number one indication of what Cheffers is going to say here. The ball can hit the ground, but you can't have the ground help you control it, which looks to be the case here. Tillman controlling it, but
can you tell that?
Well, it looks to me as if he doesn't control it if it doesn't hit the ground at that point. And I'm thinking that's what Cheffers is going to say because Kaepernick's already out on the field, and so is the Bear defense.
The old Bert Emanuel rule, it can touch the ground, but it has to be controlled. Couple of interesting calls already here tonight.
And Sheffers is taking a long look, and he's ready to give us the result.
After review, the ball is on the ground. It is an incomplete pass. The IBW, after the interception, goes away by rule. The 10-yard offensive pass interference will be enforced. It'll be 2nd and 20.
So it was a 2nd and 10 play, and that's why the 10 yards takes it back to a point where it is 2nd down and 20 with a little under 9 minutes to go. And yeah, Chicago. Yeah, I'm wondering why they would accept it. They're going to decline it. You'd rather have one play for 10 yards, I think, than 2 for 20, wouldn't you?
There's about 400 yards of offense going back and forth watching that. Okay, so now we get 3rd and 10.
And they have to reset the clock as well to 9:04.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So 9:04 left in a very slow-moving opening quarter, as it turns out at this particular point. And it's 3rd down and 10 for San Francisco.
Both linebackers up in the blitz look. We'll see if they drop back.
Bears come on the blitz, and Kaepernick is able to escape it. And he'll pack it in, looking for the first down. A flag is down. And for the moment, he has a first down. Then the ball comes loose, but his knee was down. Tim Jennings on the blitz. He got by him, Kaepernick did. And Sheffers has been very busy already. Next call coming.
Jay Ratliff thinks the hold was on him.
Holding, number 74 offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That is Joe Staley.
Yeah, just as the scramble started to happen, Joe Staley right here is going to grab Ratliff inside, not always seen, but you could see a little jersey being tugged, and cost the 49ers and Colin Kaepernick a big first down. Did send Lance Briggs, who did not play very well for the Chicago Bears a week ago. Maybe they're going to try him on a few more pressures tonight.
3rd down and 20. Have to get to the Chicago 44-yard line for a first. And then jumping over was Willie Young, one of the new Chicago Bears. They picked him up from Detroit.
Neutral zone infraction, number 97 defense. His movement into the neutral zone caused a reaction by the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
The Bears trying to shore up that front. Willie Young, Lamar Houston came from Oakland, and of course Jared Allen, the big pickup from Minnesota.
But Willie Young did play very well. Only played 17 snaps in the game last week, and we talked to the coaches, and they said, hey, the tape doesn't lie. We've got to get him in the game more, and he was smelling sack on that
one. 3rd and 15. 4-man rush. Kaepernick in the pocket, throws, and a flag is down again. Vernon Davis has it at the 49-yard line.
Boy, it takes any kind of foul here on the defense, and that's automatic.
Apart from a neutral zone infraction.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 23 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Kyle Fuller, he was their number 1 draft choice, the cornerback out of Virginia Tech.
They take Tim Jennings in the slot and let the rookie play outside, and you see the jersey pull. There's no doubt about it. That's the only thing in this day and age. You just can't do that. Anytime they see any sort of jersey being tugged, it's automatic. No discussion. Big mistake there by the rookie.
Already the 3rd accepted penalty against Chicago. They've also had a block punt. Carlos Hyde is the running back. He's a rookie out of Ohio State. They picked him in the 2nd round, and the backup to Gore. Fake it to him, throw, and then it's dropped. Vance McDonald had to spin around, couldn't hold it. Let's take a look at the Chicago defense.
Lamar Houston, Texas. Jeremiah Ratliff, Auburn.
Stephen Paya, Oregon State University.
Jared Allen, Idaho State.
Shea McClellan, Boise State.
DJ Williams, the U. Lance Briggs, Desert Swarm, Arizona.
Tim Jennings, Georgia.
Ryan Mundy, Woodland Hills High School.
Chris Conley, Cal.
Charles Tillman,
the University of Louisiana.
Tillman not credited with that interception because the ball hit the ground. Would have been his 37th. And now out of the pistol with Gore behind Kaepernick. Play action. Rolling away. Throwing and incomplete. Antoine Bolden stretching. Reaching down. Couldn't hold it. Paya put the pressure on Kaepernick that time. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
There's just so many guys around the line of scrimmage right now for the Bears. They're just saying, throw it. We don't care. We're not going to let you run it on us this week. Frank Gore really with a nice block there on Stephen Paya. Yet another block on a defensive lineman for Frank Gore, but Mel Tucker not too happy about anything yet.
Well, second year as the defensive coordinator, came over, hired by Trestman last year. Kaepernick now on a 3rd and 10. Run a stunt up front, and the pass is caught over the middle at the 42. Vernon Davis, who's as good as any tight end in the league. They needed 10. He gets 11. It's a 1st down.
Jonathan Bostic, the young linebacker, is going to go here and then drop back, but he just overruns Vernon Davis. He's keeping his eye on Kaepernick instead of having a feel for where that 1st down marker was. Vernon Davis got up to the 1st down line, turned around, and Bostic just overran it.
Forward progress took him to the 40, so it's a pickup of 14 yards. Kaepernick is 3 out of his first 8 for 38 yards. 6:40 to go in the quarter. Inside handoff. Nice looking play. Beautifully designed. Gore for a gain of 7. Frank Gore to the 33-yard line on this new sod. It's the 3rd time in a month that they've put a new playing surface down. This one's holding up pretty well tonight.
Watch the ball handling here. Looks like the Globetrotters as they come around here and then hand it back to Gore going the other way. Lead blockers in front. Very nicely designed by Greg Roman. Last week they got up so quickly on the Dallas Cowboys. Greg Roman said, I had all this ammunition. I didn't get to run any of it because we were in front by so much. Looking forward to tonight. That was one of them.
And another new formation here. 3 backs and Kaepernick's going to keep it. Miller looking to throw a block, and Kaepernick gets taken out of bounds after a very short game. 49ers love to run, and Kaepernick, of course, is part of that running game. You go back to 2011, they run more than half the time, and 140 rush yards per game. 4.5 per carry is 6th best, and of course that coincides with that man coming here, Mr. Harbaugh.
Well, Bo Schembechler taught him well, didn't he?
Yep.
Make sure you have a fullback and a tight end at all times, Jim.
3rd and 1. Tillman was on the sideline here, and Kaepernick, play fake, rolling right, flag is thrown, and it is taken at the 14-yard line by Vernon Davis. There are 2 flags, though, at the 35-yard line, 2 of them.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 99 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
So that's Lamar Houston with the hold. They'll take the play. That's a gain of 18 to the Chicago 13-yard line.
Well, Lamar Houston's going to hold coming out of the backfield, but this is Vernon Davis going across, and they're just eating them up. The Bears are so paranoid. They have been so bad over the past year plus with stopping the run. In order to ensure that they can stop this very good 49ers running game, they simply have to commit too many bodies, and so this bootleg is just eating them up.
At the 14-yard line. Play clock down to 1. This time they do get the snap away, and Chicago able to stuff Carlos Hyde. You go back over the last 10 games the last season, the Bears defense allowing 6.2 yards per rush. It's insane.
Extraordinary number. Good play that time by Jared Allen. They're just crashing both guys inside here. The second one has to be for Kaepernick. And it's one of the things that makes it so difficult. Just the mere threat of Kaepernick taking off around the edge makes Mel Tucker's life miserable, because now you can't go crash the run like most teams can against more of a traditional quarterback.
This will be the 12th play of a drive that started at the San Francisco 19. Kaepernick, quick release, and it's caught, but taken down immediately is Crabtree by the rookie Kyle Fuller. And they will spot that ball at the 10-yard line. Make it 3rd down and 5.
I think Kaepernick's happy to have Michael Crabtree back in the lineup. He said for a long time last year it was Anquan Bolden or nothing, and then Crabtree came back at the end of the season and really sort of balanced this offense out along with Vernon Davis.
And then in the offseason they added Stevie Johnson. It's Bruce Ellington who slips out of the backfield, sets up wide to the right. So you have 5 receivers, and you've got a whistle here. And then Kaepernick goes down. Jared Allen comes in, and Staley says, "What are you doing?"
Ball start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Jonathan Martin.
Jared Allen stumbled into Kaepernick at the end of this thing. Here he comes right off the edge. He's getting blocked. He stumbles, and now the whistle's blowing, but he can't stop his momentum. I don't really think there's anything malicious about that. Good thing Kaepernick had his eyes on that side of the field, or that might have been a disaster.
So now it's 3rd down and 10. The ball goes back to the 14. And Gore comes back in at running back, and
First timeout, San
Kaepernick
Francisco.
said,
A 30-second
"Let me go to the
timeout.
bench here for a second. Take a timeout." Well, that Bear defense, and of course that's been the hallmark of the Chicago Bears for years and years and years. But you go back to last year, 2013, 161 rushing yards per game, 5.3 yards per carry, both dead last in the NFL. Last in rush yards allowed. That had never happened in the long and storied history of that franchise. As we mentioned, last 10 games, 6.2 yards per carry. Worst 10-game stretch in NFL history. You think about it, see, what it means is you every time on first down, it's a 2nd and 4, and then you get a first down on 2nd down if you want to run the ball back to back.
Well, what happened to them in the game last week, their star players made big mistakes. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. Lance Briggs had big mistakes in that game. Ryan Mundy had a big mistake. They allowed long runs, so they did well on play after play after play, but you let 3 big runs get out of there, and all of a sudden you look like you're awful.
Carlos Hyde is the running back, the pistol here, and Hyde breaks it off to the left on a 3rd and 10. And the pass is taken there and out of bounds at the 10-yard line goes Hyde. Charles Tillman is there, and at least the Bear defense able to hold them to a field goal attempt. That drive, 13 plays, 72 yards. It took more than half the quarter, 7:39 off the clock.
Yeah, I tell you who's playing better tonight than he did last week as well as Jared Allen. He's starting to get some pressure. He had Colin Kaepernick hopping around a little bit on that one, so didn't get there, but forced a quicker decision.
Phil Dawson, 14 years with Cleveland, now 2 in San Francisco, 27-yard attempt here. Andy Lee to set it down, and there is your first field goal in the history of Levi Stadium. 49ers 10 and the Bears nothing. Coming up next Monday, Pharrell and Gwen Stefani join the one, the only, The Voice. New season beginning next Monday here on NBC. San Francisco. From the San Francisco Bay, and the First Lady of the Chicago Bears, Virginia McCaskey. Think of the Bears, and you go all the way back, of course, to the founder, George House, one of the originals, and that kick is muffed at the goal line, and then down there by Perry, and now you got another flag, and coming in at the goal line to get a little scrum taking place here. Plenty of sloppiness to this point. Sheffers will need a new battery for that mic pretty soon.
After the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 31 of the kicking team. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. First down, Chicago. Timeout.
It's L.J. McCray. Jim Harbaugh. Intense. All San Francisco, 85 total yards, 10 points. Chicago's run 8 plays for 17 yards. On the ground, they have 1 yard. Cutler is 3 out of 6 for 16 yards. So can the Bear offense get something started, get a break after the penalty, moving them from the 20 to the 35 as they begin this drive from the 35-yard line. And Forte will slip out of the backfield, but Willis is able to knock him down for no gain at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Well, Mark Trestman came in, and one of the reasons was to get that Bear offense going, and he certainly did that. He's an offensive mastermind. Franchise record set last year, total yards, passing yards, 32 touchdown passes. A lot of good stuff on that side of the ball. And then in the offseason, because of what happened defensively, it was the draft and free agency, and they thought about defense.
Better think about a little offense right now.
Yeah. 2nd and 10. Cutler to the outside. That's a short gain.
Whoa.
And Alshon Jeffrey gets taken down by Chris Culliver.
I tell you, you better be careful messing around with Chris Culliver. He's starting to sniff. He knows these Bears receivers are hurt, and he's creeping up a little bit more every time. He might have his sights set on a pick 6 here before this one's over with. At some point, the Bears have to prove that they can run by these 49er corners. They've got some injuries back there as well.
He also knows Jeffrey pretty well. They both went to South Carolina. 3rd down and 6 from the 39-yard line. Cutler hangs in the pocket, then it's dropped. You got another flag. Martellus Bennett. Flag is on the near side of the field, away from the play.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of hands to the face, number 25 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Jimmy Ward, rookie out of Northern Illinois. They're calling this like a preseason game now with these flags.
I thought we were kind of over it, but so far I've been seeing all of them. But it's been the young guys. This time Jimmy Ward right here. Anytime you're going to go to the face, no doubt about it. Right against Santonio Holmes. Hands to the face everywhere on that play.
So a little over a minute to play now in the 1st quarter. Deep drop, and then the pass caught by Forte, but he's not going nowhere. Ahmad Brooks had him covered all the way and drops him for a loss.
It's like Ahmad Brooks is in the huddle. Comes out here, he's reading this all the way, and they know because of the injuries to the Bears receivers that their focus in this game was going to be Martellus Bennett and Matt Forte. An excellent tight end, an excellent back coming out of the backfield. But they're great when your 2 wideouts are making plays, and so far, nothing.
On 2nd and 10, another underneath pass. This time it is Bennett. And Bennett taking a couple of Niners for a little ride into San Francisco territory. He'll be about 2.5 shy of the 1st down.
Well, at least now they're starting to get back to it. It was a game plan of the Bears, and Jay Cutler told us they were going to have to continue to run it even if it wasn't working, because you have to slow down this 49ers rush. But so far tonight, down 10-0, they pretty much abandoned that.
And the Bears will switch sides of the field. Sunset still about 45 minutes away on opening night at Levi Stadium, and a 10-0 San Francisco. And Sunday Night Football on NBC continues after these messages.
Sunday night.
I left my
tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle DeFoya. We've spent a few days and nights in that place, Candlestick Park, and there it is, in 38 miles to the south. We're leaving our heart in Santa Clara. 3rd down and 2 as we start the 2nd quarter with a little toss to Forte, and Matt will pick up the 1st down. Some tough running, gain of 7. So if you want to go from Candlestick to here, well, or downtown anyway, That's how you'd go. You go down to 101. It's 43 miles with no traffic. 43 minutes. Right in the middle of Silicon Valley. On a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. About 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I think there are a few smart people around here in this valley. Most of them very young.
How about the real estate prices, huh?
Yeah.
And Cutler has a lot of time and then throws, and the pass is incomplete. So give me your initial impressions of this place after we take a look at the replay.
Well, got to keep an eye on Brandon Marshall. I was watching Alshon Jeffrey on that last one, and he's really struggling to try and run. You'll see, I mean, it's an explosive player, big yardage, and that's kind of the way he's been doing it. At some point now, Brandon Marshall looking a little better. His issues are going to be more cutting. At some point, you have to consider, do you want to give Josh Bellamy, do you want to give Chris Williams a chance to be a speed threat?
2nd and 10, and Cutler will throw, and that pass is knocked away. That's Parrish Cox knocking it down. And that'll make it 3rd and 10.
Now, here's exactly what happens if you have no respect for the top end speed of the receivers. You sit on the routes and you come in and you break it up. Parrish Cox with a nice play there, who's really getting a chance to start tonight because of the injury to Tremaine Brock.
So at the 41, 3rd down and 10. First minute of the second quarter. 10-0 49ers. And Cutler throwing and making the catch along the sideline over his shoulders. Martellus Bennett. Great grab there. Concentrating, getting his feet down inbounds. It was a gain of 22. Off a 3rd down play.
Just this little rub play, which puts Martellus Bennett out in open space against Patrick Willis. This is just a gorgeous throw. Jay Cutler just throws this one absolutely perfectly. Bennett does catch it before going out of bounds. Big play for the Bears there.
Juggling act, held on, ball at the 19-yard line. And does Harbaugh want to take a look at this? Is he going to challenge it? Has the flag coming out?
Ruling on the field is the receiver completed the pass for a 1st down. San Francisco is challenging that ruling.
All right, so you had a little juggling here. So feed in. They'll also look at control in New York when we come back to Santa Clara. All right, this is going to be very close as Bennett is coming down with the ball and he's juggling. It's pretty clear that his feet are in bounds. Does he have complete control of the ball? You're going to see the defender's hand come in, the right hand. That'll move the ball. And then it spins, and then he's able to control it with his left hand. I would say that was a completed pass. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm probably biased, but yeah, I think that was. I mean, if you're going to micromanage it to that point, I think that's outside of what they really expected replay to be. So who knows?
I don't know. 3rd and 10 from the 41. Here comes Jeffers.
The receiver did not exhibit control of the ball prior to stepping out of bounds. It is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th and 10 at the 41-yard line. Please put 14:02 on the game clock.
I guess that little spin in his hands was enough for it.
Well, that's where he has control for a moment. Feet down, and then there's a little spin.
But it's spinning within that hand.
Exactly.
I don't know. Whatever.
That was a bad call. Real simple.
Jay kind of said, whatever. I mean, that's a big play in the game right there. I mean, that's essentially taking points off the board for the Chicago Bears with that call.
So Patrick O'Donnell comes in to punt. Instead of having a 1st down deep in San Francisco territory, the Niners will get the ball back. You've got Bruce Ellington setting up for the run back. And Ellington is going to let it go, and it bounds into the end zone as the 49ers will take over at the 20. Frank Gore, solid, steady, consecutive years with 100 or more carries, 4 yards per carry. Barry Sanders did it. Jim Brown did it. 9 years. Frank Gore, 9 years. And 10,000 or more rushing yards. Third round or later, you go to Curtis Martin. And one is to Gore. And it's 46 consecutive starts, which is the equivalent of almost 3 full seasons.
Vernon Davis said he's never met a more competitive guy in his life than Frank Gore, and I'm going to echo that one.
From the 20-yard line, they're going to start with Gore. And they'll cut it up for a gain of 7. You know, one thing about this stadium, if you build a new stadium, you know what's going to happen. You're going to wind up getting a Super Bowl. And that's going to be the case. The Super Bowl next year will be played here. So Detroit built one, they got it. Indianapolis built one, they got it. Minnesota's building one, they're going to get one again. Indy.
I think they're going to be happy having one here. This is pretty spectacular. You know, we always sort of compare everything to Dallas's stadium, and this was pretty close. It's pretty special.
And this is Gore, and he'll chug to the 29. They actually have played one Super Bowl in the Bay Area. You go back to the 1984 season when the Niners won their second of 5 Super Bowls with Bill Walsh. It was Montana. And it was Dan Marino's only Super Bowl. They beat Miami, and they did that at Stanford Stadium, which is about a 25-minute drive from here. 3rd and 1. From the 29-yard line. Gore's carried 4 times for 23 yards. And this time they give it to the up back, and it's going to be close as Bruce Miller, the fullback, takes the ball to the 30, and if the nose of the ball's on the 30, he has it. If it's not, he does not. And he's going to be a little short.
Jeremiah Ratliff right here. Watch this play. I thought he played really well last week in that game. And this time just shoots the gap inside and makes a huge play when the Bears needed it most. Big time. They had some guys, they had issues last week, but they had some guys played really well. Lamar Houston, Jeremiah Ratliff. There were guys that really had big days for this team. Really young, played really well.
Now you've got Andy Lee, who for years has been one of the best in the league. And you're going to get a delay.
Offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And that'll back Lee up 5 yards. And Santonio Holmes is going to run back the punch for Chicago tonight.
Santonio loves it. He really, I think it's been 2010. He returned one last week. But he said, you know, the coaches always told me I was too valuable. They didn't want to take a chance on getting me hurt. He used to always beg back in the day to get punt returns, and now he's not quite as valuable, so they let him do it.
He's the number 3 receiver. And Lee booms one and angles it. Fielded at the 21. There's a flag down, and then he gets spun down to the 23-yard line by Kyle Nelson, who is the snapper. You have 2 flags down. You have one as the run back started, one near the line of scrimmage. Already had 8 accepted penalties in the game and about 43 unaccepted, seemingly.
Couple reversals, got everything. It is nice to have a weapon like Andy Lee, though. Not only was that a big kick, but it was a directional kick that pinned Santonio Holmes right into the boundary.
It's a 54-yard punt. 2 fouls
There's no
here.
foul for illegal block in the back. There is, however, holding on the receiving team, number 59, during the kick. 10 yards will be enforced from the end of the kick. 1st down. Timeout.
It's Christian Jones with 11:26 remaining in the half. 10-0 San Fran. Chicago Bears ready to get started on this drive. There's Matt Forte. You can count on him. Very rarely gets injured. Your stud running back will carry the ball about half the time. About 51% precisely. But Matt Forte, you look at him, he carries the ball almost 3/4 of the time. Percentage of carries by the team leader. Tells you a couple of things. Number 1, stays healthy. Number 2, he's in on almost every down and rarely comes out of the game.
2nd in rushing in the NFL last year, 3rd in yards from scrimmage, and one of the better route running backs that there are in football.
And from the 13-yard line, they'll give it to him, and he'll get stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Ray McDonald is there to make the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Well, Ray McDonald's a good football player. Of course, right now, the conversations about what's going on with him off the field. Was arrested for domestic abuse. Has not been charged yet. I want to emphasize that. So I have strong opinions about a lot of this, but when somebody hasn't been charged yet, I think he still should have the right to play.
And again, he's being thrown into the hopper with this week, the hell week for the NFL. I mean, everybody looks like a bum. 2nd down and 9. Into the outside, and breaking a tackle goes Bennett, but now they're going to say Bennett was down. But Jimmy Ward was able to stop him. And they'll spot the ball at the 14-yard line.
Boy, that was close. Martellus Bennett got his hand down and looked like he might have stayed up on this one. Let's take a close look. This knee down? Yes, sir. Good call by the officials. There was a lot of room to run if he had been able to stay up on that one.
Bennett, former Cowboy, former Giant.
And for the first time, we have Chris Williams in the game, number 82. He's a speedster at the bottom of the screen.
And a sack and a flag as well. You have Justin Smith. Barring a personal foul here, Justin Smith is going to get credit for his third sack.
Number 67 offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
And it's on Jordan Mills, the right tackle, so that's sack number 3 for the 14-year man Smith.
Justin Smith is just a monster. Here's Michael Ola, the backup guard in there. Played in the Canadian Football League for Mark Trestman, and he is just no match. But Michael, don't feel badly. There aren't many people that can match up with that guy, the big cowboy.
7 years in Cincinnati and now 7 with the 49ers.
Didn't make the Pro Bowl until his 9th year, and now he's made 5 straight.
O'Donnell, the rookie, with a high back spinning kick. That's muffed, and Ellington, the rookie, is able to cover it up at the 50-yard line. That's where the Niners will take over. Justin Smith. 3 sacks already this season, and the Niners with the ball and a 10-0 advantage. Now you have a rooftop club there here at Levi Stadium, and you got the solar panels above it. Energy conservation is very big in Silicon Valley. Now you would think there's enough hot air coming out of this booth that we could light this joint, but
you might get a unanimous vote on something in this world.
93% at least. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line as Kaepernick lines up in the gun. Carlos Hyde, the rookie running back, flanks him. And Kaepernick goes one over the middle, and that is picked off by Chris Conti. Conti gambled, is able to get in front of the receiver and pick it off at the 31-yard line. Timed it perfectly on a pass intended for Anquan Bolden.
This Conti takes a little heat sometimes, but right here, watch him break on this football. Sees it. Kaepernick does not look him off at all, and that was a mistake. It gave Conti the jump that he needed, so now 2 games, and for Chris Conti, his 2nd interception. What a spectacular play that was.
Eight interceptions. He has 2 interceptions. He also took a lot of grief last week. He was taken for a ride in overtime by Fred Jackson, and that couldn't have been very much fun for him to watch on film this week.
His side of the story was he knew they were going to get the game-winning field goal anyway. He was going for the ball. We'll stick to that.
Yeah, that's a good excuse. Here's Cutler. Going deep, too deep, and incomplete. That time Jeffrey sends Jeffrey deep. Jeffrey, of course, comes back from the hamstring, and he was a game-time decision.
The one thing about Alshon Jeffrey is, he's not necessarily a burner, but if you're not comfortable with that hamstring, you just don't open it up to that next gear. So I think Jay Cutler has to start to ratchet it down. I mean, these are big receivers. Maybe they can't outrun the 49ers tonight, but they can still go up and muscle some balls. Give them a chance for those.
Forte, nothing. Coming up is Antoine Bethea, longtime Indianapolis Colt. Another guy they picked up as a free agent in the offseason. 9th season in the league for Antoine.
And Antoine Bethea got a game ball last week. You know, Dante Whitner, known as Dante Hittner in the secondary, went on to Cleveland. And so there were a lot of concerns bringing Bethea, and he was very, very good a week ago. And I think that he brings the comfort level that maybe when Whitner left, they were worried about.
Whitner gone, Terrell Brown left as well. Carlos Rogers left, so they retooled that secondary. 3rd and 11. Cutler buying time. And Willis will take him down. So it's 3rd and 11. Secondary does its job. Everybody's covered. And Chicago forced to punt.
It's getting borderline ridiculous. Chris Culliver is not even backing up on these receivers. There he is right out here. Watch him. He's going to back up. There's nobody in there behind him. He just has that kind of confidence that he's not going to get run by. So even if you don't hit it, you got to throw one just to make him back up.
This will be O'Donnell's 4th punt. His first was blocked and led to the game's only touchdown. Flag is down. Tell me something I don't know. Ellington back to receive it. And let's get the call here again from Cheffers.
Well, the official has his hat off, so somebody.
You know, there are 4 flags on the field right now. 4. 3 back behind the 35, and then there's one that was thrown.
And a helmet too.
At the 15-yard line, out of bounds.
Got everything.
4 flags and a helmet, and a beanbag, and a partridge.
We call that par.
Jeez. There were 4 fouls on the play. I'm sure you've got a couple that are concurrent.
I think there may have been a hold on the initial kick.
There are multiple fouls by the kicking team on the play. Illegal use of hands to the face, number 57. That penalty is declined. The player ran out of bounds on his own without being touched, number 32. That penalty is also declined. Holding, number 20. That penalty is accepted, 10 yards. We'll replay 4th down.
Oh boy, that'll be fun in the film room this week, huh?
You know, you're on the road, you're opening a stadium, you got a bunch of guys hurt, and the only good news is the mistakes that were made by the veterans a week ago aren't being made, but the young players are really creating a lot of issues right now. You know, one time the Chicago Bears and special teams and Devin Hester, and what a weapon it was, and so exciting, and so far not so much here.
Yeah, Hester's gone. They let him go. He's now an Atlanta Falcon. I can't remember seeing 3 fouls on the same play. Live and learn. From the 25, there's a flag down. Believe it or not, as Ellington takes the ball to the 42-yard line. Back once the play commenced.
During the kick, holding, number 50 return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down San Francisco.
Of all things, Borland with the penalty here, halfway through the 2nd quarter. Wednesday, Deborah Messing is the mother of all detectives. The Mysteries of Laura is the name of the show. Special preview Wednesday, 10 Eastern and Pacific, 9 Central and Mountain, after America's Got Talent finale. Okay, 15-yard line after the punt, San Francisco with a 1st and 10. Halfway through the 2nd quarter, and the 49ers leading by 10. Kaepernick throwing. That's a 1st down, and it's Crabtree taking off, and he almost busted it all the way. Gain of 20. Lance Briggs has been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have such a good day last week, and it came after on Monday he decided to take a personal day, went out to the Double Nickel Smokehouse restaurant, I guess, that he owns in L.A., and then didn't play very well, and so he's heard about it all week long, but Everybody said he's been flying around in practice, and to be honest and fair, he's played pretty well here tonight.
From the 35-yard line, reaching up and making the catch again, and that's Crabtree. Charles Tillman with the coverage.
Couple of mistakes last week. Sometimes you can try to be too aggressive and make too many plays. Here he clearly jumps out of his gap, and they break off a long run. This time Ryan Mundy ended up wrongly going across with the tight end, and saw Briggs jump through the line of scrimmage, and so nobody there, and that's the play we were talking about with Chris Conte as well.
Crabtree has now caught 4 for 39 yards, and the game's only touchdown. The ground again, huge hole. Frank Gore off to the races. Frank Gore trying to get to the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, but there's a flag down. Flag is back at the 35-yard line. And the Bears indicating against San Francisco that would be a 54-yard touchdown run.
Holding, number 81 offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Anquan Bolden, and there goes the TD.
There's Bolden, number 81, coming up. Wow. Let's see. He gets his arm extended, and I guess they're going to say right there he kind of wrapped it around the shoulder pad.
Leaves the ball short of the line to gain. First down is repeated. First down and half a yard.
Well,
Bubba's right.
Potty, nice block. Vance McDonald, nice block. DJ Williams got ran out of the hole, and then there was that kind of hold on the tail end, and it all comes back.
Kind of, sort of. The defensive back was losing his balance. Anyway, so it's 1st and 1, spot foul, and now Kaepernick will take the ball to the 29-yard line and stop the pressures. No flags.
You know, it's so interesting. I was talking to Greg Roman about Colin Kaepernick running and all that. He said, you know when he's really in danger is when he's sitting in the pocket being still and these guys are coming up behind him and hit him in the back of the head. He said, when's the last time you saw Colin Kaepernick or a Russell Wilson take a big shot when they're running down the field, have their eyes on the defenders, they're slippery. They have a way of making those guys miss, and that's exactly what happened there.
Kaepernick this time will hold on. Ball is loose, and the Bears, Jared Allen created the fumble, and the Chicago Bears have recovered the ball at the 20-yard line.
Good hustle by Jared Allen. Took care of his responsibility inside, hustled back to the outside. They needed that.
Danny McRae with the recovery, and the Bears get the ball back with a little more than 5 to go in the half. Monday Night Football being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, serving the armed forces and their families. By the new Samsung Galaxy S5. The next big thing is here. By Nissan, innovation that excites, and by Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. That's the 20,000 square foot San Francisco 49er Hall of Fame museum right here at Levi Stadium. One of great history for this franchise. It started in the 40s in the All-America Football Conference. Matt Forte picks up one, back to Jared Allen making his first big play as a Bear.
Talking to Jared Allen, he says your responsibility is go inside, get your gap, and then hustle back to the ball. Exactly what he does there. Gets his helmet right on the football, and Colin Kaepernick can't hold on to it and then let the party begin over on the sideline. Those two veteran players have picked it up tremendously over what I saw from them a week ago. They played like that last week. They probably win by 10.
Defense playing pretty well. A couple of turnovers, except for the offense now. Now, what do you got here? You got the ball loose, picked up, and trying to pick it up on the run, and that cost them the opportunity to wind up with the ball was Lynch, who had blocked the punt earlier, and getting back there was Brandon Marshall. So if Lynch just falls on it, it's a 1st and goal. Instead, Chicago has the ball inside the 5.
Jay Cutler. You can see the tap coming from Michael Ola. Remember, that's a backup center in there, Brian De La Puente, but he was a guy that started the last 3 years for the Saints, so plenty of experience, but maybe not so much with Jay Cutler at this point. Very, very fortunate for the Bears on that one.
So 3rd down and 28, if nothing else, trying to buy some space for his punter here. And he's going to go for the bomb all the way down into double coverage and nearly picked off at the 50-yard line by Parrish Cox. But that would have been pretty moot at this point because they're going to get a punt at about that same spot.
Yeah, they finally take their shot down the field, but you can see Parrish Cox basically outran Alshon Jeffrey, and actually you probably wouldn't have minded if he made that interception. If he made the tackle, that would have been a pretty good punt.
So now O'Donnell will kick out of the back of the end zone, his 5th punt. First punt was blocked. You got Bruce Ellington to run it back. And the play clock's going to go all the way down.
Delay of game, offense. That's the distance to the goal. 4th down.
I'm trying. Oh, do you understand what that was?
You know, it cost them a yard, so maybe they're thinking, but down here in this part of the field, a yard,
yeah,
something.
They clearly wanted to take the delay of game. I'm trying to figure out the reason.
I'm just not sure, and I think the 49ers may answer with a different call of their own. Now that you only have basically 10 yards, you might come try to block this one now.
Very strange. And here they come, and they almost got it. Pretty good kick, fielded at the 49 by Ellington. And he stays in bounds. Good run back. And he gets popped out of bounds by the punter O'Donnell, and we check in with Michelle.
Well, 3 injuries for the Bears defense. Starting safety Chris Connie went back to the locker room with a shoulder injury. He is questionable. Backup cornerback Sherrick McManus, a quad. He is questionable also in the locker room. And then backup right end Trevor Scott with a right foot injury. All 3 of those guys have gone to the locker room. They're all questionable. We may get more after halftime, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And, of course, Chicago comes into the game with significant injuries along the offensive front. Marshall and Jeffrey not 100%, but they are playing tonight. McRae takes over for Conti now. With Conti out, the ball at the 30-yard line. So Kaepernick with a short field and play action. And surveying. And then just throws it away with nobody open. 2nd down and 10.
Well, a week ago, Shea McClellan blew these types of coverages on the bootleg twice in that game. He's trying to make the conversion from defensive end to linebacker much better here. Reggie Herring, the linebacker coach, worked with him all week. He's got a lot to learn, but he hustles, he plays hard. And really, so far, this Bears defense has played pretty darn well out here tonight. You take away that block punt, and they played a tremendous game.
Kill! Created a couple of turnovers, but another big stop here to try to limit the 49ers to nothing more than a field goal, and the pass is caught. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10. Derek Carrier winds up with the catch. He would be the number 3 tight end. That's a gain of 23 yards.
Derek Carrier is a man. He knew coming all the way across, he's going to take a shot. There's no way he's not getting blown up on this one. He catches it. Tillman lays him out, and he hangs on to the football. Fantastic play. Nothing illegal about that hit. That's just good, hard football. Great play by Derek Carrier.
Like so many tight ends in the league now, a basketball player in college with Beloit. 2.5 to go in the first half. And Kaepernick under pressure, and then it's dropped out in the flat by Carlos Hyde, the rookie running back. He put on Kaepernick that time, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know, that's a play you basically let McClellan come on the blitz, but it happened so fast, Kaepernick really just didn't even have time to react to it. So once again, this Bears defense is being asked a lot because offensively, just nothing to show for it.
That Chicago offense, 1.3 yards per play.
You go back to that play, Martellus Bennett, and that was taken away. Difference here.
Here's Gore, and Gore this time into the end zone, and it will count. Boy, they run that play so well and have for a long time with Gore, no matter who the quarterback is. Give it to him, inside handoff, have him start toward the middle, slice it back toward the outside, and then he goes.
I think you're going to get Bostic here kind of overrunning this thing. You got to stay backside in your gap, and I think he thought Gore was going strong side and may have overrun that a little bit. Just that read option. If Jared Allen stays right there, you just hand it to Frank Gore, and for about a decade, that's been a pretty good option.
Dawson now for the extra point. For Frank Gore, the 72nd touchdown of his illustrious 49er career. 2:22 to play in the half, and the 49ers go up 17-0. NFL Now, you can get access to the biggest NFL video library on the planet. Select your favorite teams or players. And NFL Now delivers you non-stop videos on your favorite device. Get NFL Now free at NFL.com/now. Inside the museum. Great history of this franchise. Of course, the recent history we all know about with Bill Walsh and Montana and Rice and Watt. Then you go all the way back to Y.A. Tittle, and after that, John Brody, Hugh McElhaney. Pretty fabulous. And the kickoff goes through the end zone. And in the museum, those balls representing the 187 regular season touchdowns and 19 postseason touchdowns by, in the minds of many, maybe the greatest football player ever. There he is, Jerry Rice.
It's ridiculous to see all those touchdowns. Oh my goodness. What a player. Even better guy.
And just fabulous to watch. It's the old cliche, the price of admission. There was a guy who was worth it. Pass over the middle, and that's going to be a first down for Martellus Bennett. 10-yard gain out to the 30-yard line.
Now, last week the Bears had 3 players with 8 catches or more. This week, Martellus Bennett's the only one with more than 1. I mean, you have to give a lot of credit to Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffries for trying, but it's tough.
2-minute warning. So at a halftime, Packers rallying from 18 down to beat the Jets. Panthers win, and they go to 2-0. We'll have them next week, and the latest on Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson coming up on the Toyota halftime. 17-0 San Francisco. Bears trying to get something going before the half, and it's a short pass over the middle, gain of 4. Brandon Marshall makes the catch. And a flag down. Let's see, we've now had 13 accepted penalties.
Holding, defense number 94, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Justin Smith.
They got it. This is the 49ers' favorite defensive play. They used to do it all the time with Aldon Smith. You're going to see come up here and hook this lineman and allow the other defensive end to come underneath. You can see the hand right there hooked around Michael Ola. Aldon Smith probably had about 7 or 8 sacks on that play right there, but I think in part because the umpire is now behind the defense, able to see it here inside of 2 minutes.
On first down, Cutler, pressure from behind, escapes, comes out, gets the first down, and slides to a stop at the 39-yard line. Jay Cutler taking off, nearly sacked from behind, turns it into a 25-yard run.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. When you get man coverage, if the quarterback breaks free, everybody else is chasing a receiver, and there just is nobody left.
Working without huddle, of course, here. Forte can't hold on. That stops the clock with 1:24.
You know, when you're playing on the road, here's Jay Cutler. He wasn't looking to get down either. He was going for all he was worth, and he saw, I think it was Corey Lemonnier, Running a little faster than the quarterback did. All right, I'll opt down. Wasn't quite Colin Kaepernick, but wasn't bad. He's pretty mobile too.
Second and 10. Cutler gets it away just before they get to him, and Forte is covered by Will Hoyt. Ray McDonald forced the issue that time, getting into the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
They're starting to really work some stunts inside that time. Ray McDonald came all the way around his two partners up front and got pressure on Jay Cutler.
Third and 10. Cutler wants Forte to come into the backfield to help with the protection. Looking at that front. And Cutler going for it all. There's a flag thrown. And you got Alshon Jeffrey, who looked like he was held up. Yeah, Bethea and Parrish Cox were both there.
Yeah, double move, Parrish Cox,
prior to the pass,
no
illegal
question.
contact. Number 20 defense, 5-yard penalty automatic. First down.
Well, they caught a break anyway. It was illegal contact and not pass interference. You'll see the double move here by Alshon Jeffrey, clearly laboring. And then Parrish Cox knew he was beat, although really I think Bethea might have gotten there anyway. A little panic anytime you're seeing somebody run by you. At least that's a good option for the Chicago Bears, those double moves, so you don't have to be absolutely top-end speed to get by these defenders.
It had been 3rd and 10. That makes it first down. Cutler buying time. Flips one toward the sideline. That's taken there by Forte, and he gets tackled at the 15, but again, a penalty.
Yeah, he went out of bounds before he caught the football and then cannot be the first to touch coming back in. When you see those officials throw that hat off their head, you know exactly what it is.
Illegal touching of the pass by number 22. That receiver went out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch the pass. It's 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Just one step right there as he was trying to plant his foot to come back. So yet again, another big play down that boundary gets taken back.
First and 15 at the 40-yard line.
7th accepted penalty against Chicago. 49ers have had 9 accepted penalties. There it is. The ugly numbers. First and 15. And Cutler going deep, and that's almost picked off at the goal line. And you have another flag down because Cutler got popped. Quentin Dial came in, and that's why Cutler's on his knee.
Roughing the passer. Number 92 defense lowered his helmet and hit the quarterback with the crown of his helmet.
So you have that. You have Jeffrey.
Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Jeffrey going deep. But Jeffrey had to turn into the defensive back that time to prevent an interception.
I'm not sure Cutler's getting up from this one. This is helmet right to the ribs, right to the sternum area. That hurts.
Their number 2 quarterback, he's up, and in the huddle is Jimmy Clausen.
I'll tell you what, that's one of those you might finish the half, get in there at halftime, and it might start locking up on you.
So now under a minute, the ball's at the 25-yard line. And Forte can't get out of the backfield. Tony Jared Eddy makes the tackle. Take another look now at the Cutler hit.
I think that play call was Mark Trestman saying, I got to give my quarterback a play here. I mean, that is right down Broadway. Right dead in the heart of the 6. You know, for defenders, they have to think about a lot of things, but you can't drop that helmet on those quarterbacks.
Cutler got hurt last year. Josh McNown came in and actually did a great job. In fact, at one point, when Cutler was ready to come back, there was a little controversy in Chicago about maybe keeping him in.
Yeah, down in Tampa now.
But Cutler came back, and Chicago had every opportunity to win the division and lost the chance on the final day of the season at Soldier Field when Randall Cobb got free. Took in a pass from Aaron Rodgers, and Green Bay went to the playoffs. 2nd and 11. Cutler throws, and Marshall makes the catch, and he'll get tackled close to the 20-yard line by Eric Reed. It's 3rd down and 2. Clock ticking down. Chicago with 2 timeouts. Not using one here. A lot of time coming off the clock here. A lot of time. Cutler to the end. Oh, a one-handed grab by Brandon Marshall. Spectacular. What a catch. Not the first time he's ever hauled one in one-handed. What a beauty. Unbelievable.
Wow. That's just wow. You're playing hurt. You go up. Your team is desperate for a play. The clock's ticking down, and you make that. Wow. That's fantastic.
Came out of last week's game with an ankle injury. So a very limited practice time this week. Game time decision. And he gets him back into the game.
But you know what Jay Cutler did there? He threw it up in the air and gave his guy a chance. That's what these guys do so well. They're so big. Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, Martellus Bennett, they can make those plays.
Robbie Dole for the point after all. Marshall was 6'4". Ward was back there. The safety at 5'11", so that 5-inch advantage. And those great hands, or hand in this particular case, spectacular catch.
And give Jay Cutler credit for just surviving the hit that he took. A couple of penalties really proved big on this one. Quentin Dahl with the shot right with the crown of the helmet. That kept it alive there. And then Parrish Cox on 3rd down. The illegal contact. So penalties playing a big part in everything here tonight. Great respect, though. Brandon Marshall just playing this thing out, and Jay Cutler could have easily come off the field after taking that shot, hung in there, and now has his team right back in it.
We've had more flags than you'd see on June 14th.
That was a pretty spectacular drive there.
That was
Cutler.
An 80-yard drive, 2 runs, 5 passes. Took him 2 minutes and 9 seconds.
But it's really starting to look a little bit like the Bears offense again. You know, those big physical receivers, and give them a shot. That's good. That's a lot of pain that went into that one. Marshall with that bad ankle. Cutler with taking the shot, hanging in there. Good stuff.
Now a bouncing ball is grabbed at the 30-yard line, and that's Aaron Lynch, involved in a few plays tonight. The blocked punt, could have had a fumble that he was trying to run into the end zone and couldn't, and now he gets a kickoff run back. So the QB comparisons look like this right now, with Cutler picking up most of that yardage on the last drive. Good run to keep a drive alive, and Kaepernick a little over 50% as the 49ers have the ball at their own 39-yard line, but only 8 seconds left.
Yeah, but because Lynch caught that ball, and now the 8 seconds, they have a timeout, great field position. You can be a little more aggressive right here and see if you can't pick up a field goal.
Kaepernick thinking just that, throwing, but to the 42-yard line, and that's going to be Frank Gore getting out of bounds there. Now you got 3 seconds, so unless you got a defensive foul, you get one more play, period.
Now it's going to be interesting to see if they're willing to take that same sort of shot. I know it's 17-7 here, but really for the Chicago Bears, with some of the issues that they had early on with the offense, and block punt, a turnover, and hung in there pretty good this first half.
And the Bears will take a timeout. This is a great rivalry. They don't play in the same division, of course, but you go back and you think of the 49ers and the Bears and so many fabulous games through the decades. In fact, in regular season play, they're dead even. 29-29, and there was one tie.
I think the last time the Bears beat them out here, right? It was the '85 Bears, wasn't it?
Last time they beat them here.
It takes a pretty good team to come out here and knock off one of these. Of course, they were two of the great franchises, some of the greatest football teams we've ever seen. And certainly that '85 Bears team fit that mold.
And a couple of years later, they came in on a Monday night, and San Francisco beat them 41-0. And that's when Mike Ditka threw gum at the fans, and the plaster was coming off the walls in the locker room that night.
And Jim Harbaugh had to be quite the pair.
Oh. And Kaepernick's going to gun it deep downfield, but that's going to be incomplete, and that's going to take us to halftime. But the Bears are able to scramble back in it with that late drive. It's 17-7, and coming up next, the Toyota halftime show. But first, these messages from your local NBC station. And just past sunset in the San Francisco Bay Area, as you look at the Golden Gate Bridge and down the peninsula we come. 17-7 is the score. Michael Crabtree, that 3-yard touchdown catch, who just tossed it up by that block punt. There are the numbers for Kaepernick tonight: 122 through the air and 25 on the ground. Turnovers have been big. Jay Cutler, 10 of 20 with 64 yards through the air, most of them coming on that last drive, and then 17 combined penalties as we go to the second half of Zebras Run Wild. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth and Michelle Tafoya. Levi Stadium, new home of the 49ers, who will get the ball to start the third quarter. And a little confusion back there. Miller will down the ball in the end zone, and we go to Michelle.
I spoke with Mark Trestman. He put it bluntly at halftime, saying we haven't done anything right. We've got to regroup. We've got to run the ball better. Otherwise, it's just tough on Jay Cutler, who he did say was fine after taking that big hit on the final drive of that first half. As for Jim Harbaugh, I asked him about the 10 penalties, and he sort of laughed and said, I won't address those. I won't address them with you or publicly. We just got to finish the game.
Thank you, Michelle. But we will, because there's another penalty here. While you were talking, there was a flag that came out.
Foul is on the return team. Half the distance to the goal.
It's on Scooter.
51. There's the grab. Completely unnecessary. But Scooter had a good game last week. He was the guy that forced the fumble that got the Dallas game started in the right direction. That led to a touchdown right off the bat.
McCullough took it into the end zone. San Francisco took care of Dallas as Frank Gore goes nowhere. Stephen Paya making the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Gore tonight now has carried the ball 7 times for 50 yards.
Yeah, and so now you're going to end up with, let me see if I can find Mundy. I think he's right here. Nope, do it the wrong way. Just jumped right inside of him. But they have the safeties up. They have had it all night long. And so basically what they've been able to do for the most part is sort of force the hand a little bit of Greg Roman into throwing the ball on earlier downs, where this really is a run-first football team.
And 2nd and 10. Kaepernick sliding out. And he's going to run and come very close to picking up that first down. Speedy, we know that. Fabulous arm, we know that. And Kaepernick with a gain of 9 yards, making it 3rd down and 1.
You know, one of the things you've got to be careful about with this guy is when Jared Allen loops back inside here, Kaepernick is going to take advantage. So now the containment is gone on that side. And there he goes. You really have to be pretty disciplined in how you rush this guy.
So they give it to Gore. They got Miller in there at fullback, and they do. And he'll bust his way out to the 26-yard line to move the chains. First down.
I'll tell you, he's had a nice game tonight. Vance McDonald, the tight end, drafted in the 2nd round, goes in motion here. But really not only gets the block, but gets the defender turned. So once you get that in there, now there's no doubt for Frank Gore where to go with the football. It's one thing to get solid contact Another to get him turned and really create that running lane.
Now Kaepernick from the pistol from the 26. The pump fake and then a pass. And that's about a 9-yard gain to McDonald. Vance McDonald right there. Second-year man out of Rice. Picking up 9.
You know, you just like watching what Colin Kaepernick is starting to grow into. You know, we talk about his arm strength. He's got the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. We talk about his ability to run and gets outside the pocket. But I think now you're seeing him mature as a quarterback. He's more willing to stand there, take the check downs, go through the progressions. You can just watch him advance every year.
Play action. Looking for the big gainer and get it. This is Michael Crabtree to the 40-yard line. A little play action on the 2nd and 1, and then a nice gain of 24 yards to number 15.
Now, the one guy that we haven't talked a whole lot about, right out here, Jonathan Martin replacing Anthony Davis. And really, Lamar Houston was probably their primary pass rusher a week ago, but we all know the story with Jonathan Martin, what happened to him with the Miami Dolphins. Has come over here. Jim Harbaugh had him in college, and so far tonight he's hung in there very, very well. And I'll say this, what happened in Miami is not typical of locker rooms.
In the middle of that bullying episode, which also features one Richie Incognito as Gore is taken down at the line of scrimmage. And talked to a couple of 49ers the other day. You ever talk to Martin about that? No, hasn't come up in the locker room.
Not once. They didn't talk to him about it. They haven't had a meeting about it with the rest of the team. Nobody's brought it up to him a single time. They go, hey, he's a football player. I'm sure he's sick of it. We're sick of it. Come in here and help us. And he's done that very well. He's been a little sharper even tonight than what he was a week ago.
And so Harbaugh, he was his college coach, right up the road at Stanford. 2nd down and 11 from the 42-yard line. Kaepernick will keep it. Off he goes, slides to a stop after he picks up a first down at the 30-yard
line. He's reading Jared Allen here. Jared Allen's going to go down inside, but then they have another back to come around, Vernon Davis, because what they do is just replace Jared Allen with the linebacker coming around, but now you've got the lead blocker out in front of that, Vernon Davis, and so even though there's a guy out there, it's still difficult to stop. It almost ends up like a fullback lead. Does that make any sense?
A lot.
Okay.
I'm taking that to the bank with me. And Kaepernick is able to escape and he seeks the sideline right here. Nothing happening downfield, and out of bounds he goes.
Well, we know Colin Kaepernick is a great athlete. He can play any sport he wants. Here's some of the ball handling that he's been doing. Okay, we're just going to hand that one off. No problem. Now read it. Nope, we're going to pull it out of there and take off. We even had one little loop-de-doo play a little bit earlier. Fake the reverse, turn around, give it to Gore. That's a lot of different action off of the exact same thing. And here's the last play with Vernon Davis coming around. Now he's got a lead blocker. One of the greatest athletes playing tight end maybe in the history of this game. Greg Roman's got a lot of things going on, a lot at his disposal with his offense.
Meanwhile, there's Charles Tillman, who went down at the end of that play and is just now getting up along the sideline. So Peanut, in his 12th year in the league, been a tremendous corner and a stalwart on this Bears defense for years. Take a look at how he got hurt here, working on Crabtree.
I don't know exactly what he did, but with all the bad things going on in the NFL this week, Charles Tillman's your Walter Payton Man of the Year, so a lot of good guys out there too.
Chris Conte comes in now. Well, Conte's still out. Fuller moves over, the rookie #1 pick, to take Tillman's spot at the corner. And let's see if Kaepernick goes to work in that area. 2nd and 10. Instead, through the middle, they give the ball to Carlos Hyde, and the rookie out of Ohio State goes nowhere.
Jeremiah Ratliff has just been making all kinds of plays. He did this last week as well. When he's healthy and when he's right, he can really be something inside. Of course, all those different crazy things with the Dallas Cowboys down there, finally got out of that situation. He wasn't happy. The Cowboys weren't happy with him. And when he came in at the end of the season, it was a real uptick for this defense.
4 straight Pro Bowls while a member of the Dallas Cowboys. 3rd down and 11 now for the 49ers. And against the 4-man rush, it is caught on the run. This is Stevie Johnson, the former Buffalo Bill. Takes the ball to the 10. That's a gain of 21 yards. Tackled by Fuller.
You called it out right at Kyle Fuller, the rookie, in there replacing Charles Tillman. Also have a young safety back there, Danny McCray, in the back end because of the injury to Chris Conte. So maybe focusing over there on Kaepernick's left side for a while.
It's the 11th play of the opening drive of the second half. A little touchy-feely up front. That's Ego Ferguson. The guy is very difficult to keep him in check. Sheffer's mic has finally died, I think.
We need more penalties in games. You're pretty funny with all these penalties out here tonight.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny, how about Jim Harbaugh? He had unbelievable quotes with us this week. My favorite one was, "This is the least unhappy team I've ever had." Like, teams are never happy, but this is the least unhappy team we've ever had.
AKA the happiest. So a 5-yard penalty on Ferguson. It's 1st and goal now, and it is Gore swinging to the outside with a stiff arm there. And it's Fuller and Jennings who combined to stop him. Actually, they can't get a first down without getting a touchdown, so it's 2nd down and 3.
Well, this is what happens when you play a gap-control defense and all the gaps are filled. There's nowhere to go, and Frank Gore tried to bounce it all the way around, but then the speed of the secondary came into play. And really, after the way the Bears went down and scored the touchdown before the half, really significant moment in the game here. Hold them to a field goal, and you're still right in this thing.
Extra lineman in there. Looney comes in as the extra tight end. A little more leverage. We get the ball to Hyde. And he can't hide from Lance Briggs. Gets taken down to the 7-yard line. So this is a drive that has not consumed more than half of the 3rd quarter. Chicago has not had the ball in the 3rd period.
Yeah, Lance Briggs not making any mistakes this time. He's finding his gap. He's fitting it perfectly. There he is. Forces the bounce out. Different looking defense against the run here tonight. No big glaring mistakes this time around. This is a very disciplined defense in how you have to play it. They've been much better tonight.
Pretty big hole here to try to keep this at a 2-possession and not a 3-possession game. 3rd and 6. Gore, and they stop him. He gets taken down at the line of scrimmage. Willie Young, one of those new Bears, came over after 4 years with Detroit. And so he stops him, and the 49ers will have to settle for a field goal attempt by Dawson.
I tell you, this Willie Young is something special. He is so fast off the mark. Reads it, ends up, Mike Iupati turns up before he got there. Willie Young turns the back upside down.
24-yard attempt for Phil Dawson. Andy Lee to put it down. And they get 3 after running 13 plays on that drive. That drive took over 9 minutes. 20-7. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Verizon. More live games than ever before with NFL Mobile. By Volkswagen TDI Clean Diesel. By A Walk Among the Tombstones, starring Liam Neeson, in theaters Friday. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Levi Stadium, a little time-lapse action as it was built from scratch. Groundbreaking was April the 19th, 2012. Cost about $1.2 billion, which is pretty much standard for stadiums these days. And the official opening night. They played a couple of preseason games here, a couple of soccer games as well, but tonight the official grand opening. Sonoris Perry down. Streisand making her first Tonight Show appearance in 50 years. Leave it to Jimmy to pull that off. And later this week, the Blacklist, James Spader visits Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show all this week on NBC.
Singers love a singer, and Jimmy Fallon can sing.
Right. And they set up a screen here to Forte, but it's sniffed out, taken down by Patrick Willis. Let's check in with Michelle.
Well, the Bears' defensive backfield has taken a major hit. Charles Tillman is out with a right triceps injury. It was a torn right triceps that cut his season short last year. Now, when he came to the sideline and to the bench and was talking with team doctors, very emotional. You can see tears streaming down his face. Clearly just distraught, Al.
Oh, yeah, and you look at a guy like that, and anybody who's around this sport knows him. And you just feel for a guy like that, and in the waning years of his career, and then to have this happen in the second game of the season. 2nd and 8. Cutler to the outside, and this is Forte, and Scooter's right there with him. 3rd down.
Well, one thing they knew coming in here was that they had to stop Martellus Bennett and Matt Forte and take their chances with these wideouts. Now Brandon Marshall made the huge play, but they read the scouting report as well, and they knew who was hurt for the Chicago Bears, and so Fat Forte bottled up a bit tonight.
3rd and 9 from the 21. And Cutler throws, and that's incomplete. That's the last thing with a flag down. And it was against Chicago. It's the last thing that the Bears needed. Their defense was on the field for 9 minutes, and then you go 3 and out.
The use of hands to the face. Number 96 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Said they get a break with Corey Lemon. Yay!
Yeah, Jermon Bushrod immediately turned around and started pointing to his face mask. Right here. There you go. You can see it. That is a serious point of emphasis this year. One of the things they wanted to take away was the offensive lineman. You can't put your hand up there and just hold it up there. But a year ago, offensive linemen were jabbing to the face mask and taking it back down. So they took that away, but they also really emphasized defensively you can't do that.
That's 100 yards in penalties against the 49ers tonight. 100. Cutler airing it out into double coverage, and it's almost intercepted. Josh Bellamy, a lot of speed, the intended receiver, Bethea and Parrish. Cox almost came away with a pick. Incomplete. 2nd down.
Well, he got Bethea to turn on the back end. I don't know if we'll see it or not, but Bethea turned to his right, and I think Jay felt like that he was going to have an opportunity to squeeze that in.
2nd and 10.
But Bethea, being a Pro Bowler that he is, flipped his hips back around and was right there to make a play.
Cutler on 2nd and 1. Forte. Good tackle made at the 29 by Will Hoyt. 3rd down.
You know, that final drive right before the half, so big. And it was a couple of plays by these wideouts. Double move, got the penalty drawn, and 1st down there for Alshon Jeffrey. And then this piece of brilliant receiving here. Watch this one. You can't do it a whole lot better than that. That's what these guys can still do despite their injured legs. They can still go up and win those jump balls.
3rd and 7. Niners send 4. Cutler deep again, but too deep that time, and Jeffrey's looking around trying to get a flag, and does. A flag is thrown at the 46-yard line. It's going to be another Chicago 1st down.
Dante Johnson that time.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, number 36 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
A lot of time, and that's really what set that up. Jay Cutler had plenty of time, and you'll see at the top of the screen there, another little double move. And really Dante Johnson way beyond 5 yards. But here's the protection. And so far tonight, this makeshift offensive line has done pretty well. They're really fishing around for who that other pass rusher is going to be until Aldon Smith returns. It's been a little Corey Lemonnier, a little Aaron Lynch, but obviously nobody like Aldon Smith, who had 19.5 sacks in 2012.
And that Michael Ola and Brian De La Puente holding their own on the offensive front. We got a whistle before the snap, and with Cutler's reaction, you can tell it's going to be against Chicago. Play clock had run all the way down.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
After Chicago had picked up their 6th first down via penalty. So take a look at that. 36 Bears plays tonight. Thrown to Marshall 5 times and to Jeffrey 4 times. They've been in almost every play. Just 4 yards for Jeffrey, and well, Marshall made the big play of the game for Chicago to this point. 1st and 15. Cutler guns it over the middle. That's caught. This time Jeffrey makes the catch. His 2nd grab of the night, and he's close to a first down at the 44-yard line.
You just have to admire the guts of these guys. They are just not right here. Watch them just laboring up the field, and against the zone defense, you can kind of find those gaps in the zone. Against Alshon Jeffrey, they may want to start to think about, do we want to get up and try and jam him? Because as a receiver, it forces you to make quick movements, and when you have a hamstring injury, that's not your preference.
And so Tillman on the sideline. That pass was a little short of the first down. They need a yard. And Forte will chug for it here to move the chains out to the 45-yard line. 2.5 to play in the 3rd quarter.
One of the things I thought I would see more tonight out of Mark Trestman's offense is what they call their 12 offense, or 1 back and 2 tight ends. There was a lot of talk that maybe they'd bring Dante Rosario into the game and let him sort of try to get the 49ers in their base defense and then throw out of that.
Haven't seen much of that. From the 45, Cutler hangs in the pocket, throws caught. Marshall, and Marshall wants a penalty for a hit to the helmet as he takes it to the 41-yard line, first down.
Gorgeous by Brandon Marshall here. Watch this little move to the outside and then back to the post, and he really got Jimmy Ward to bite on that. So it's not now a speed game for the Bears. It's more of a physical presence and savvy plays being made by these wideouts.
Good deep drop. Cutler fires, and that is caught, and that's Santonio Holmes to the 25-yard line for a first down.
Well, this is about the protection that Jay Cutler is getting right now. The one thing that Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, was worried about the game last week was a lack of a pass rush, despite the fact they got 3.
Chicago going no huddle here. Martellus Bennett to the 21-yard line.
Starting to bring some pressure now, which is not typical for the 49ers. That time they brought Patrick Willis on a blitz, and unfortunately, there goes Charles Tillman.
A tricep injury, we talked about it. Missed half of last year after a triceps injury in the 2013 campaign. Let's just hope that we will see Charles again soon. Don't know right now.
Here's a little bit of that 12 look here. Rosario in and Bennett. Now they're going to have to burn a timeout. You do not want that at this point.
Yeah, they had Rosario flexed out wide left, but timeout taken by the Bears. Yahoo Fantasy Lounge, lovely the attractions here. Silicon Valley, high tech. Costas and I still have flip phones. Good thing we didn't get frisked tonight.
If you had the officials tonight, you killed it.
Yes, you did. 2nd down and 5 from the 21. Cutler. And that'll move the chains, and there he goes to Rosario, and there's a penalty.
prior to the pass, holding. Number 51 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Dan Skuta. Jeffers has now appeared on television more than Jack Benny over his career.
Well, let's take a look here. I think right there, Dan Skuta. But they are starting to get up in Alshon Jeffrey's face now, and I think that's a pretty good idea. It's tough with those hamstring injuries to do anything very quickly.
Waning seconds, and of course, we have another penalty.
Ball start, number 67 offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Jordan Mills. That's the 23rd accepted penalty. The clock is wound, and that takes us to the end of the quarter. Each team has had the ball one time here. 20-7 as we go to the fourth. Tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico as you look at the Bay Bridge connecting San Francisco with Oakland. We start the fourth quarter down here in Santa Clara, powered by the Dumbarton Bridge. Al Michaels with Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. It's a 1st and 15 for the Chicago Bears at the 17-yard line. And the fourth period will begin with a little flip to Forte, and Forte is inside the 10 and takes the ball to the 6-yard line. De La Puente and Ola, the two guys subbing here, helping to lead the convoy.
Sure was, right there. You've got Brian De La Puente, nobody over him, so he gets out immediately and does a nice job out there. I think that was against Michael Wilhoit. Wilhoit saw it, he just couldn't get there because of Brian De La Puente.
Picked up 11 on the 1st and 15, second down and 4 from the 6. Bears trying to turn this into a one-possession game. Forte. And he can only get to the 5-yard line, and upcoming will be a very big 3rd and 3, but they making the tackle here.
There's nothing better than having a safety. They can also substitute as a linebacker, but they basically play in the middle linebacker position in that defense and stoned them. Boy, interesting call here. Are you in 4-down territory at this point? If you are, this play call might be a little different. You might try to run it again.
Marshall left, Jeffrey to the right. Holmes also on the left. Cutler looks that way, Cutler throws that way, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall for his 2nd touchdown. They had Marshall and Holmes stacked on the left side, and then Marshall is able to get into the end zone to turn it in to a one-possession game.
This is just about body position. Go down, get to the goal line, box out like you're getting a rebound, and then throw it hard. Brandon Marshall is just a big, strong guy. Jay Cutler never looked anywhere else. He knew exactly what he was going to do on that one, and why not? A little praise. He's done some good stuff on a bad leg tonight. So is that guy with a bad chest or whatever that was.
20 out of 31 is Cutler for 141 and 2 touchdowns. Extra point is good by Robbie Gold, and at 13:35 left in regulation on opening night at Levi Stadium. San Francisco is up by 6. Sunday Night Football brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. By U.S. Bank, all of us serving you, member FDIC. By Kia Motors, visit kia.com to learn more. And by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. 200 pieces of original art on display. All the 49er coaches right there at Levi Stadium. And Kyle Long, of course, Daddy is Howie Long. He's fired up along the sideline as the kick is taken at the 4-yard line. And this is Bruce Miller, fullback by trade, bringing it back to the 23-yard line as the 49ers take over there with 13:29 left in the fourth. 20-14 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, he's been a starter now for 2 years. Came in the middle of the 2012 season. Only 26.3 passes per game, second fewest among the regular quarterbacks. Only Russell Wilson throws the ball less, but almost 8 yards per pass, and that's the 4th highest in the league. Kaepernick and Wilson would be the least throwingest. The teams do pretty well, by the way. And the pass is picked off. It's Kyle Fuller who takes the ball to the 6-yard line. So the rookie out of Virginia Tech, pick number 1 in the draft, just takes the ball away from Michael Crabtree. And the Chicago Bears are 6 yards away from taking the lead with the extra point.
Well, so much for picking on the rookie. Here's Fuller out here against Crabtree. He's reading the quarterback all the way, comes up, tries to bat it down, and it ends up in his arms. And so this defense, so much maligned a week ago, now is making plays and giving the Chicago Bears a chance to win this thing.
Meanwhile, you got Sheffers in another conference here.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 7 of the passing team. For inappropriate language, half the distance to the goal, first down.
So Kaepernick cost them about 3 yards, making it a 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line.
You know, there was a real debate whether or not they were going to eliminate certain words. You remember, Al, this whole thing?
Yep.
And they decided we're not going to name words, but we're going to know them when we hear them, kind of thing. And I think he said one of those that they knew it when they heard it.
So now it's a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line in a stunning turn of events. After Chicago goes down the field to turn it into a one-possession game. Now with a chance to take the lead.
They just have not been able to run the ball at all tonight, though, with Matt Forte. That has been the story.
10 carries, 11 yards for him. Cutler, touchdown, Martellus Bennett. And just like that, Chicago an extra point away from going in front. Eric Reed was covering on the play. Bennett, the tight end, hauls it in.
Eric Reed's a Pro Bowler in just his 2nd year, but Martellus Bennett, he is big, he is quick, and this is too easy. So in a game in which Jay Cutler told us last night, we're going to run the ball, we're going to stay with it, we don't care how ugly it is, we're just going to run. They have had to abandon the run, and it is a good thing.
Can't believe anything you hear anymore. Robbie Gould for the extra point. And the Bears, who were down 17-0 late in the first half, with 13-14 to go in regulation, have now taken the lead against the 49ers. Less than 2 weeks, the U.S. Ryder Cup team looks for a victory on foreign soil for the first time since 1993. They'll be teeing off in Scotland, the Ryder Cup on Golf Channel and NBC September 26th through the 28th. Well, 14 points for Chicago. They were down 17-0. They now lead by 1. The kickoff taken out of the end zone. Bruce Ellington, rookie from South Carolina, takes it out to the 24-yard line. Brock Vereen makes the tackle.
Well, tonight it has been the defensive stars that have played like stars. Jared Allen causing this fumble on the big hit against Colin Kaepernick. And Lance Briggs, who made a lot of mistakes a week ago, has been in the right gap. He has made big play after big play and shown the kind of leadership this team needs from him.
So the 49ers now at the 23-yard line. They had a long drive to open the 3rd quarter, 9 minutes, but resulted in only a field goal. And Gore picks up the 3 before he's knocked down. Let's go to Michelle.
Well, a couple of those defensive stars for the Bears have been dimmed tonight. Defensive tackle Jeremiah Ratliff went to the locker room. He's receiving concussion protocol. And safety Chris Connie, we told you about him in the first half with a shoulder injury. He has been downgraded to out. He's on the sidelines in street clothes, Al.
And of course, we've seen Tillman. There he is. Thank you, Michelle. And Mel Tucker, the defensive coordinator, missing key parts. Will Sutton, rookie, is replacing Ratliff right now, rookie out of Arizona State. He's number 93. As Kaepernick retreats under pressure, gets it away, and he winds up hitting Derek Carrier, the tight end, for his second catch of the night. Tackled there by Briggs. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Briggs now on back-to-back plays. He stopped the run on the first one, and then he's going to get out of here and make the play here on this bootleg. So he is much more on his toes. They said he was flying around in practice. I'm sure a little embarrassed with all the attention he got. And now for the Bears defensively, they are looking at a big 3rd down.
3rd down and 2 from the 31-yard line. Kaepernick to the outside. He's got the first down. That's Stevie Johnson, longtime Buffalo Bill, 6 years there. Came over in a trade. First down, San Francisco.
Yeah, and I think Stevie Johnson's going to become a bigger and bigger part of this offense. He had 3 straight years with the Bills, over 1,000 yards, a little fall off last season, but people talk about it. He has a funny way of running routes, and it took Colin Kaepernick a long time to kind of figure it out too. But they say even top-end defensive backs haven't quite figured him out either. So I think he's going to be bigger and bigger here.
And the Buffalo letting him go. Of course, they picked Sammy Watkins early in the draft and hope he'll be their main guy for years. Kaepernick, protection breaks down, and he goes down at the 32-yard line. Shane McClellan finished him off.
Well, it's interesting. Kaepernick saw McClellan come up in the gap, and he's standing right there. He goes to the audible and does a little sprint away just to give himself a little room, but then nobody's open, and McClellan and Jared Allen come right back in there and make the sack. Different speed this week for Jared Allen.
2nd down, 14. Over the middle, catch is made at the 40, and Davis got bent back. Bostic making the tackle. He's about 7 yards shy of the first. 3rd down upcoming.
Well, they've got Bostic there, but Will Sutton in there at defensive tackle now. Al, you talked about him, but this guy's no slouch. Back-to-back first-team All-Americans, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. He can play. A lot of substitutes in there, a lot of young guys right now.
Because Davis got bent back, he has to come out at least for one play. So the tight end's on the bench. They go 3 by 1 to the right side, and now movement, and that's Staley.
Number 74 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Turns it into a 3rd down and 12.
Danny McCray in the game, number 29. Brock Vereen, another rookie. Shane Vereen's brother, played with the Patriots. Closing in on that record.
Oh boy, last year, mid-pack, tonight 113 penalty yards. Chicago with 58. That's just the accepted penalties. 3rd and 12. Kaepernick throwing against the grain, and it's picked off at the 40-yard line by Kyle Fuller. He has 2 in his 2nd game in the NFL. And the rookie from Virginia Tech does it again on back-to-back drives.
Just a fantastic play by a young player. This wasn't even his guy. Falls back underneath and makes another huge interception.
And back to Levi Stadium, where all of a sudden the Chicago Bears have the lead, have the ball, have the momentum. 3 interceptions and a fumble for Kaepernick tonight. They start with a flip to Forte. And he'll get banged down by Willis at the 38, and back to go to Fuller's 2nd pick.
Well, Vernon Davis had to go out for a play, and that meant Derek Carrier, who's supposed to just stay vertical here, but when he sees Kaepernick scramble, he goes with him, and that's what's going to allow Kyle Fuller to fold back underneath that. Nice job by Fuller, had his guy under control, sees the scramble, comes back underneath. That is a veteran play. That's one you see Charles Tillman make.
And he's going to have to probably fill that role the way things look right now with Tillman's tricep injury. And that pass is caught by Jeffrey, who got position on Culliver, came back, made the grab, and down the field they go. And that's a gain of 29 to the 8-yard line and a 1st and goal.
It's been the biggest difference with what they've been doing. Now they're using these receivers, and they're using their big bodies. They're going back shoulders. They're allowing them some jump balls. So you don't have to always outrun people in order to win. Jay Cutler has made the switch now in the second half, and it's looked great.
First and goal from the 8. Forte. Room inside. Gets half the distance. Takes it to the 4-yard line. Reed makes the tackle. Halfway through the 4th quarter, it'll be 2nd down and goal.
Well, I tell you, it's no fun trying to trap block Alex Smith or Justin Smith. The time Kyle Long came across there and got a snootful.
Cutler, short drop to the end zone, caught. Brandon Marshall. 3 tonight for Brandon Marshall, a guy who was a game-time decision, who barely practiced this week. Came out with an ankle injury in the game last Sunday in Chicago. 3 touchdowns for Marshall.
The hardest route to cover is a fade from the slot position because you have so much room to work. Then you throw back shoulder off of that. This has been a gutsy affair by these Chicago Bears tonight, and it really all started when Jay Cutler got hit in the chest. I think they were down 17-0, and since then been basically unstoppable. A lot of turnovers, though, contributing.
With the extra point here, they will have outscored them 28-3 since the 2-minute warning of the half. Last 4 Chicago possessions, all touchdowns.
Now a lack of pass rush has contributed as well.
28-20, Bears. Started out pretty well for that guy tonight. Then all of a sudden, 4 turnovers.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you're trying to fire the thing in there, and there's been some good plays made. This isn't just all mistakes. These are good defensive plays throughout the course of the night. And my goodness, what a night tonight for Kyle Fuller. Really making a name for himself, and he's taken advantage of Colin Kaepernick a couple of times now.
So the 49ers down by 8. Downing it in the end zone. Ellington will take a knee there, and Kaepernick will go to work from the 20-yard line. Second most with Harbaugh as the head coach. He's been here now 3 years plus 2 games. 5 turnovers in a game that we were at last year at Seattle.
Well, Harbaugh telling us that football is not fun. It's never fun. Football players enjoy the struggle. Well, they're going to have to enjoy the struggle now because they need to put something together, and Kaepernick has to shrug this off. You can't be shy as a quarterback in this situation. You have to go play and go win the game.
From the 20, Kaepernick, he's going to get sacked. A 6-yard sack. That's Willie Young coming in to take him down. 2nd down and 16.
It's the first time they've really gotten after Jonathan Martin here. Top of the screen right there. He's going to go inside. And Jonathan Martin gets beat quickly as a tackle. That's what you can't have happen, especially with a mobile quarterback like Kaepernick. If he goes around you, he still has a chance, but can't give up that inside.
Vernon Davis is not back in. Remember, he got hurt just before the interception on the last drive. You got Carrier in there as the other tight end. You got Kaepernick now throwing and gunning it, and that's caught for a gain of 13 to Anquan Bolden. Will be 3rd and 3, and here's Michelle.
Well, Chris, you said football isn't always fun. It just got less fun for Jeremiah Ratliff. We told you he went to the locker room for concussion protocol. He is now out with a concussion, guys.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So you got Tillman out, You got Conti out. You got Ratliff out. And yet that defense has really done yeoman work here in the second half. Will Sutton, a rookie. Kyle Fuller, a rookie, making their presence felt. 3rd down and 3.
Nice to have mobile quarterbacks in this situation.
Ooh, and Kaepernick just does avoid a sack and a second one, and will seek the first down. Speaking of mobile quarterbacks, there he goes. Got away from Vereen, got away from Allen, and picks up a first down, a gain of 14.
Boy, Brock Vereen had a clean shot, just couldn't do anything about it. Mobile quarterback, sometimes you have great plans. The defense won there. That should have been a sack. But the athleticism of Colin Kaepernick is keeping them in this game. Jared Allen just couldn't catch him.
Carlos Hyde comes in the backfield now on first down from the 42. And they give it to the rookie. To the 45-yard line. He goes for a gain of 3. Under 5 minutes to play in regulation.
I would say about 75% of the plays, or at least it felt like it, that Carlos Hyde went in a week ago, they did that read option. He is very good at it. I assume did it at Ohio State. And so now you have the situation where, yeah, you want to give them a little different look, but that read option has given the Bears fits now over the past couple of weeks.
Jed York, the major domo of the 49ers, watched his team sprint out to a 17-0 lead, and now they got to come from behind as Kaepernick dances around in the pocket. Buys time, still more, flag thrown, catch made. For the moment, Crabtree would have picked up the first down, and we'll get Shepard's call. Vernon Davis.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of hands to the face, number 21 defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
That's Ryan Monday for the 49ers. We're learning there is Vernon Davis. You saw him hobble off, ankle injury, ruled out for the rest of the game.
You know, there's been a couple of guys open here. That time Derek Carrier, I believe it was pretty open down the field. Kaepernick's been under pressure. And I know there's a lot of pressure here, but he really needs to start just staying focused down the field here. There are some opportunities.
The ground. Gore. They smother him after a gain of 3. Bostic, the first guy to reach him. Clock down under 4 minutes now.
Yeah, Jared Allen and Lance Briggs once again. Jared Allen in, Briggs around. That's the way they've been playing it for the most part. Nice job that time. Briggs went through the back door and then was able to catch it from the other way. Those two veteran players, though, big uptick.
So Harbaugh, he wanted to pick it up, pick up the pace, but they huddled. Play clock is into single digits right now on second down and 8 from the 43-yard line. Kaepernick pump fakes, then he gets sacked by Willie Young. Well, that was the major thing that Chicago wanted to do. Get pressure up front, bring in Young and Houston and Jared Allen. What a difference that's made tonight.
Well, Willie Young now is just taking advantage. Anytime you have a backup in the game, and that's what Jonathan Martin is. No Anthony Davis over there, and right now Willie Young is doing what he is fully capable of doing, and that's being a nightmare as a pass rusher. So quick.
Second sack tonight, 3rd and 13. Kaepernick in trouble again. Gets out of trouble. Stays on his feet. Gets to the 41-yard line. Tripped up there by Fuller, but he is 6 yards short of the first down. So 2.5 to go. It's 4th down and 6 at the 41-yard line. And as Cutler looks in to see what they're going to do, I mean, the 49ers are pretty much compelled to go for it right here. 4th and 6 at the 41.
Well, they still have all their timeouts, so even if they don't get it, have the 2-minute warning, still have a lot of opportunities. I agree with this.
Four clock stoppages.
I tell you, it's been a while with Anquan Bolden. He was the go-to guy last week.
San Francisco.
And then San Francisco has to take a timeout here.
That wasn't part of the plan.
No, definitely not. 2:07 left.
This is Sunday night.
And this is a huge 4th and 6. After San Francisco took a timeout, Carlos Hyde is in the backfield. And the 49ers maybe just trying to draw Chicago offside, but nope, they're going to run the play. And Kaepernick's going to slide out, throw, pick up the first down. Crabtree out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That takes us to the 2-minute warning. So 2 minutes to go. San Francisco has 2 timeouts. They will have the ball on the Chicago 31-yard line with the Bears leading 28-20. Volkswagen post-game report coming up. Michelle will be down in the field with a couple of interviews for you. Bob Costas and Tony Dungy. Mike Florio will break it down. Tell you what else is going on in the league. We'll look ahead to next Sunday's matchup. Pittsburgh at Carolina. 1st and 10 now. Kaepernick over the middle. That is caught. That is Derek Carrier, the tight end, filling in for the injured Vernon Davis. Takes it to the 17-yard line.
Hey, a pretty nice looking move that time by Carrier. He got down the field, gave him a little shuffle step, broke back inside. Kind of unusual when a quarterback looks at a young player in that situation.
Now they're going to give it to him. Well, Kaepernick's going to keep it himself. Good ball handling there as Hyde went through the middle. Kaepernick keeps it. And it's a loss of 1.
Yeah, I think if Kaepernick had that one to do over again, he's looking at the big screen, he would have handed that ball off. I think he had a pretty good look here going right up the gut. Who was that, Carlos Hyde? Carlos Hyde, by the way, on that previous play, the big play, had a block against Lance Briggs that really set up that first down.
Well, there were the Chicago injuries. We saw Tillman go out, tricep, same thing that happened last year. Conte left with a shoulder. McManus and Scott. Ratliff has a concussion. Vernon Davis, there he is. He's out for the night with an ankle injury on the other bench. 2nd down and 12 now from the 20-yard line. Great protection. Kaepernick to the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Stevie Johnson going across the end zone. 3rd down and 12.
One of the things the 49ers are doing now is they're putting a tight end over to Jonathan Martin's side. It doesn't always mean he's going to get help, but it at least forces that defensive end, that pass rusher, a step wider and a step slower off the ball. Good adjustment.
3rd and 12.
Unfortunately, now you've got Willie Young right back over him because you're now flexing the tight end. So look out, Jonathan Martin.
Young with 2 sacks tonight. And
delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Shooting themselves in the foot all night long.
Well, Colin Kaepernick's come up with a lot of big plays, but he's also had a lot of mistakes in this one.
4 turnovers. The 49ers 16 penalties for 118 yards. Now it's 3rd and 17. Have to get to the 8 to move the chains. Rush 4 over the middle. Gore will take it to the 17. Lance Briggs making the tackle. It's 4th down and 9. And the 49ers are going to take a timeout there last. Okay, next week we go to Charlotte. So Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town with a mark of 1-1. Carolina's now 2-0. Football night, as always, gets us started at 7 Eastern time. Cam Newton in action next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You know, you're kind of down to that point in the game. Do you go to your stars, or do you say they're going to be looking for Anquan Bolden on this play? And so maybe Derek Carrier. He is a nice little route runner. He had a good shuffled inside breaking route on that last one. Perhaps they come back to that.
Well, it comes down to this. 4th and 9. Chicago can run the clock out. if the Niners don't convert. Stevie Johnson, bottom of the screen. Crabtree and Bolden on the top. And over the middle, and it is incomplete. Crabtree reaching for it. Couldn't hold on. Jennings there covering on the play. And the Chicago Bears are going to spoil opening night for the San Francisco 49ers.
I think he might have had it, but he faded the route at the very end. If he squares this off, let's see if he kind of fades away from the ball. Yeah, he did. And I think if he had just kept coming in a straight line across the field, he was just trying to ad-lib a little bit, and it probably cost him a completion there.
Well, I know this is early in the season, and there's a long way to go, and it's the middle of September, but the Chicago Bears were upset last week. Beginning tonight, they play 6 of 8 on the road. So they're away from home except for 2 games between now and November. They were down by 17. They go on the road, and this is a huge win for the Bears under the circumstances.
Against a tremendous football team. I mean, this is one of those teams that you know is going to be right there at the end. And for Colin Kaepernick, you know, he talked to Jim Harbaugh, and he said that football players have to develop calluses. Well, he's going to have to develop a callus after this one because a lot of mistakes. He played his guts out. He's going to be a great player. But tonight, the Chicago Bears got after him.
And the 49ers squander an opportunity to go one up on Seattle because they lost to San Diego 140-1 on the road after trailing by 16. The last time the Bears won a game in this circumstance, trailing by more than 16, is when Dennis Green said they were who we thought they were.
But for the Chicago Bears and Mark Trestman, feels a little different right now than it did last week. To come in here, nobody thought they were going to lose to Buffalo, and I don't know too many people thought they were going to come in here and win tonight with all their injuries. This was huge, and